Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. We are here with our continuation of the lecture on antiviral drugs. Last time we discussed about the drugs used for various viral diseases like herpes simplex, cytomegalovirus retinitis, and herpes zoster. We also discussed about the drugs used for influenza and various other conditions like respiratory syncytial virus bronchiolitis, hepatitis, and we discussed about interferons, which are very important from examination point of view. So today's lecture would be comprising about antiretroviral drugs. So we'll be discussing what are retroviruses and which disease do they cause. Moving on to the learning objective of today's lecture. First of all, by the end of this lecture, I would expect from all of you that you should be able to classify antiretroviral drugs, number one. And number two, you should know how to draw a diagram showing the mechanism of action of various drug groups. And the most important ones, you should be able to write down the toxic effects of various antiretroviral drugs. So remember one thing students, this question has been asked twice in the university question, that they classify antiretroviral drugs, as well as once it was asked indirectly that with the help of a diagram classify these drugs. So if you have to write down the names of the drugs, please at least 3 to 4 names are mandatory, because in the key when we check the paper there is 0.5 mark is given to one drug. So if you write down 4 names, then you'll be given 2 marks for each group. So this is basically a full length question which is asked from the chemotherapy. So this is a diagram which is showing what we have covered so far and what is left for today's lecture. We discussed about herpes, acyclovir, which was a prototype drug, and its key point was that it requires phosphorylation for its activation. Then we discussed that it is a prodrug, and thirdly we discussed that these drugs are purine and pyrimidine analogs. Then we discussed about the ganciclovir, which is a drug of choice for cytomegalovirus retinitis. We have also covered the drugs for influenza, which is amantadine, the main drug, and I showed you a diagram in which there was a picture of a man to dine with, and that is basically used for influenza, which acts through uncoating of the viral protein. So amantadine also has its another use in treatment of Parkinsonism. So this is a very important MCQ. Then we discussed about the drugs for hepatitis B and C viral infection, in which we have interferons, lamivudine, and ribavirin. Today we'll be discussing about the drugs for HIV. There are various drugs inhibiting at the various enzymes and steps like fusion inhibitors, protease inhibitors. Then we have RTIs, which are reverse transcriptase inhibitors, which are of two types, nucleosides and non-nucleoside RTIs. This is again the very important diagram which we discussed yesterday as well. Just have a quick revision that viral particle when enters into the cell through adsorption and penetration, then it gets uncoating. Then there is early and late protein synthesis accompanied by nucleic acid synthesis and then packaging and assembly. And finally there is release of the viral particle. So far we have covered the drugs for influenza, in which amantadine that was blocking this step of uncoating of the protein. Then we discussed about the neuraminidase inhibitors, which are also used for influenza. They are inhibiting at this step. Then we'll be discussing various drugs which are used in HIV. So let's move on to today's lecture content. What are retroviruses? Basically, as you can see in this diagram, that this viral particle will enters into the host cell. What is happening that it's the DNA of the virus gets incorporated or merged with the host cell DNA, and after that you can see that there is a new copy of the virus gene and the new virus protein is released, which is very much infected. It is highly infectious. It carries along with it the host cell DNA as well. So what are basically retroviruses? These are basically those viruses which are containing the negative sense non-segmental RNA. They have a icosahedral or sometimes conical in shape, and they're enveloped viruses. and they contain DNA polymerase enzyme. So we are not going to go into the detail of the structure as you have already done that in virology. So just a brief outlook about the structure. So you can see this is envelope, it's a glycoproteins, and inside there is the viral RNA, enzyme reverse transcriptase, and this is the capsid. Similarly, another picture showing the human immunodeficiency virus, which is the HIV, and you can well appreciate the presence of reverse transcriptase enzyme, the presence of protease enzyme, integrase enzyme, and all of these enzymes are important for carrying out the various steps of replication of the viral particle. Similarly, there is the phospholipid envelope, and there is the presence of transmembrane glycoprotein and the docking glycoprotein 120. Now we move on to the antiretroviral therapy, which is also called HART. This is very important. Where you can be asked in the Viva or in your SEQ paper, define HART or what do you mean by HART, and classify the drugs. So if you don't know, okay, what does this stand for, then how will you write the classification? So HART stands for highly active antiretroviral therapy. And similarly, there are other drugs which can be asked in classification like SERMs, SERMs. You can be asked like define SERMs and give examples. So SERMs are selective estrogen receptor modulators. And you can also be asked like define DMARDs. So if you say that these are drugs for rheumatoid arthritis, but you should be able to write down okay, what does the abbreviation stand for. So DMARDs are disease modifying anti-rheumatic drugs. So similarly, you should know about HART. So when we classify the antiretroviral drugs, we have RTIs, which are reverse transcriptase inhibitors, which are of two types, nucleoside and non-nucleoside. Then we have protease inhibitors. Then we have fusion inhibitors, and we have integrase inhibitors. And the most important point to remember at this stage is cocktail therapy, which is when you go for a cocktail juice of mixture of various fruits. So this is cocktail therapy of various antiviral drugs, which is combination of at least 2 or 3 antiretroviral agents. So you can be asked why you give the combination of these 2 or 3 antiretroviral drugs. So that is, you should know the reason why are we giving together. So it is number one, it enhances the potency, and number two, it delays the resistance. Similarly, you can be asked what is the reason or what is the advantage of the combination of drugs given for Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So it's the same reason. Okay, it decreases the chances of resistance. Very important point. How do you define HART? It is basically treatment with antiretroviral drugs against the retrovirus, the HIV, and resides and multiplies within the host cell, which is the human body. So it's a main etiological agent of AIDS is the HIV, and it's the hallmark of HIV. And why it is called the retrovirus, the RNA is transcripts DNA from RNA through the enzyme reverse transcriptase. So we classify RTIs into non-nucleoside and nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitors. So we'll be discussing each of the groups one by one, and I'm again and again emphasizing whenever any classification is asked in exam, write down at least 3 to 4 names of the drugs. So there are various steps of the viral replication, which is viral RNA must first be transcribed into DNA, a step catalyzed by the enzyme viral reverse transcriptase. Okay, this is very important, the basis of the viral replication. So the double-stranded DNA then incorporated into the host genome with the help of viral integrase enzyme. So you should know the function of reverse transcriptase enzyme. And so when we give the drugs, they block the step. Then you should know what is integrase doing. So it is basically incorporating the viral DNA into the host cell DNA with the enzyme. So viral replication can be initiated with synthesis of viral RNA and proteins. Virus particle buds off the host cell and carries with it the effective membrane area. I'll be showing you the diagram as its envelope. During this process, an enzyme, which is a protease, it cleaves the new budding particle into an individual functionally active protein, which is the new viral particle. So let's have a look at this picture. This is a viral RNA. With the help of enzyme reverse transcriptase, it gets converted into a double helix DNA. Then we have the enzyme integrase, which the function of this is to incorporate the DNA into the host genome. Then there occurs transcription and translation and gets converted into polyproteins, and with the help of this protease enzyme leads to the formation of final structural proteins. So at this stage we give RTI, which are the reverse transcriptase inhibitors, which can be of two types, nucleosides and non-nucleosides. Then we have protease inhibitors. Then we have integrase inhibitors. This is another diagram to show how the viral particle gets replicated and how the different drugs can stop this process. So this is the viral RNA, which when gets absorbed and penetrated into the host cell with the help of this enzyme reverse transcriptase, it gets converted into the viral DNA, which gets inside the nucleus, and it gets incorporated into the host cell DNA with the help of this enzyme integrase. So two enzymes, reverse transcriptase at this stage, then we have integrase at this stage. And then finally there is the release of the viral RNA and the polyproteins, and with the help of this enzyme protease, which causes the budding off of the new viral particle with the new host cell DNA. So this is the site of action of protease inhibitors, which blocks this step. That is why we are giving the combination of three or two or more than three drugs for the treatment of this HIV infection, because if there is resistance to any of the one group, then another groups are available. So this decreases the chances of developing resistance to the drugs. So another diagram to show RNA with the help of this reverse transcriptase gets converted into DNA. Then there is transcription and translation leading to the formation of structural proteins and the enzymes. Our first group is reverse transcriptase inhibitors, and in which we have the first one is nucleoside derivatives. So as we mentioned earlier, when we discussed about the antiviral drugs in general, we discussed that they are nucleoside derivatives, most of them. So these drugs are derivatives of pyramine or derivatives of purines, like number one is zidovudine. Then we have zelcitabine, stavudine. Then for purine derivatives, we have didanosine and lamivudine. Students, the name are difficult, but you have to memorize, as this is the era of antiviral drugs, and as you know, there are many new developments after this pandemic of COVID-19, and many of these drugs are used for the treatment of this COVID-19, and these are under trials as well. So this makes them more important from examination point of view as well. So the mechanism of action of RTIs, they have number one, competitive inhibition of HIV reverse transcriptase enzyme. And as we just saw in the diagram, okay, what is reverse transcriptase enzyme doing? So it gets incorporated into the growing viral DNA chain and cause termination. and hence blocks one of the steps of the replication of the viral particle. But remember one thing, as a general rule, we told you the characteristics of antiviral drug, they require activation, most 90% of the drugs. So they require phosphorylation to get activated into its active form. Zidovudine, it's a azidothymidine derivative. It is also abbreviated as AZT. Okay. It's a deoxythymidine analog. It is effective against HIV 1 and 2. It reduces the rate of vertical transmission, that is from the mother to the newborn. Adverse effect of this drug is it causes myelosuppression, anemia, neutropenia, GI intolerance, headaches, and insomnia. So this is its hallmark, myelosuppression. This is another important MCQ. You will be given various drugs and you will be asked which of the following antiretroviral drug causes myelosuppression. So this is zidovudine. Then the next drug is zelsitebane. It's a cytosine analog. Okay, it's effective against HIV-1. And when we give a combination of zelsitebine or zidovudine, we add a protease inhibitor, and the main purpose is it's a cocktail therapy. It is for the reducing the resistance. But its adverse effect is it causes dose-dependent peripheral neuropathy. So this is another MCQ. The next drug is tavudine, that is a thymidine analog, and it is effective against both 1 and 2, but its adverse effects, it causes dose limiting toxicity, which is peripheral sensory neuropathy. It also causes pancreatitis, arthralgias, elevated serum aminotransferases. Amongst the nucleoside RTIs, we have so far covered derivatives of pyramine. Now, derivatives of purines, we are here with didanosine. So didanosine, it is the most important adverse effect of didanosine is it causes dose-dependent pancreatitis, and it's one of the MCQ once again. It also causes peripheral neuropathy, diarrhea, hepatitis, esophageal ulceration, cardiomyopathy, and CNS toxicity. But from examination point of view, this MCQ can be asked which antiretroviral drug is notorious for causing pancreatitis, so it is didanosine. And zidovudine is basically causing myelosuppression. So this is important. Note down, students, this is a MCQ. So regarding the non-nucleoside RTIs, we have various drugs. The most important ones are delavirdine, nevirapine, and efavirenz. So the classification is very important. No matter what, you have to memorize the names. Okay. So these are non-nucleoside derivatives. They bind directly to the site on the RTI enzyme, but distinct from the site of nucleoside RTIs. They do not compete like the nucleoside RTIs were competing, and they do not require phosphorylation to be active. So these 2 points are different of these NNRTIs from NRTIs. ठीक है, तो ये जो नॉन न्यूक्लियोसाइड डेरिवेटिव्स हैं, they do not require phosphorylation and they do not compete with it. So you have to remember this thing. Thank you very much, students. We end today's lecture, and so far we have just covered two groups, which are the RTIs, in which we have discussed about the nucleoside and non-nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitors, and we'll be continuing this lecture tomorrow with the other drug groups, and then we will together discussing about the toxic effects of these antiretroviral drugs together. So for your assignment, we have discussed few MCQs. Kindly write down their answers on your notebooks and send it to your WhatsApp group for the attendance. This is a scenario which you can see it, and then submit the answer. Number 1. So students, this is another MCQ and you have already covered this topic in full detail. So kindly write down the answers and submit on your respective groups. And with that, we will continue this lecture tomorrow. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.